Hello everyone, my name is Brian Roberts. I'm a professional guitarist out of Honolulu, Hawaii. And in this particular video, what I'm going to show you is how to change keys with your pentatonics. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to move pattern 1 up and down the neck so that you can interface with the 12 different key signatures available to you in Western music. So the prerequisite for this is ensuring that you have all the natural notes memorized on the E strings. It doesn't really matter which E string, just so that we can pick an E string. Let's take the low E string. So in order to be successful with this, you need to have every single note on this string memorized. The open E is an E, the first fret is an F, the third fret, which typically has a dot, is a G. The second dot, or the fifth fret, is an A. The third dot is a B, or the seventh fret. So pretty much everything's been lining up on a dot, except when we get to this dot. This dot is straddled. So we have E, F, G, A, B. Straddling this dot, we have C, D, and then the double dots represents the reset point. So this is an E, and also if you're following alphabetically, after D comes E. After the double dots, everything just repeats, so it's really not that bad. This would be F, your first dot would be G, second dot being A, third dot being B. Straddling the dot, you'd have C, D, and so forth until you found a double dot, and then you would have E all over again. Some guitars have 24 frets, some guitars have even more. So you need to have that entire sequence and that entire string memorized so that you can change keys. In addition to that, you should understand what sharp and flat means. So if somebody says G sharp, you can go, okay, G sharp. So it's important to know all that stuff before we get started with this. The other thing you need to be able to do is to play Pentatonic Pattern 1. And I typically teach this pattern second, and I typically teach it up here at the 12th and 15th frets. So this would technically be the 12th position in the key of G major or the key of E minor. We'll get into that in a second, but this is what we're looking at. So you want to be able to play pattern 1 without too much trouble, and you want to be able to visualize it too. So pattern 1 looks like this. You're on the 12th fret, 15th fret, 12th fret, 14th, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15. Now I rather use spacing increments. So you're going to play everything anchored here off your pointer finger, straight line. That's really nice and easy to remember. You're going to go wide, which means 3 frets. You're going to go short, which means 2 frets. Short again, short, and 2 wides at the end. So 1 wide, 3 shorts, 2 wides. Again, you should know all these things before getting into this concept. So now that we've covered the 2 basic things that you need to have down before we change keys, is I'll teach you how to change keys. So by now you should be able to find the key independently, and if not, you got to check out that other video or know how. But sometimes people will tell you, oh, this song is in whatever key. Now with my system, I teach what's called key signature, regardless of what actual key it's in. That's its own mumbo jumbo, but to make this as simple as possible, anytime you find a key, whether it's A, G, whatever it is, the entire sequence moves over. So just making this as simple as possible. If we focus in here at pattern 1, the point of interest and the important point is right there. So I call it like the horn, because it kind of juts out. Please don't affixate on your pointer finger, because the main point of this pattern is where that green dot is. Okay, see how it sticks out? So that's why I call it the horn. And the reason why I circled the green is so that it sticks out compared to everything else. This note in this pattern is your major key signature. And again, for my purposes, it's your key. It's your key signature. So this is your major key, is your key signature right here. Bam. So if you recall from what I just said, if you take a look at where that green dot is, and if you named that note, well, it's the first dot on the E string, that's a G. So I've been teaching you everything in the key signature of G. So when you play pattern 1, pattern 5 right behind it, pattern 4, you're all in the key of G. And the easiest, most simple way to do all of this is using pattern 1 and rolling everything out like a carpet to either side of it. So that's how you play in the key of G. So in order to change keys, think about this like as a train, and each note is like a station. So if we wanted to stop at the, if we want to take the A train, we want to take the A station, we're going to move this entire pattern down to where there's an A on the E string. So right here is an A. You're going to move this entire pattern down, and again the frets kind of widen out, so you're going to have to adjust appropriately, but you're going to put that sticking out point right there. So the sticking out point is here, and your straight line would be here. So if I wanted to play pattern 1 in the key of A, this is what it would look and sound like. Okay? So again, everybody always wants to affix A on their pointer finger, but in this instance, it's the pinky or the whatever finger you decide to use. It's that point that sticks out that's the point of interest. Okay, not the straight line, here. So this region of this particular template, this particular pattern, is your key signature. So that was an example of the key of A. Let's say we were in the key of C. So what you need to do is you need to find a C on the E string. We have G, A, B. Here's a C right here. So again, if we were in the key of C, key signature of C, I would put that point that sticks out, the edge of the wide distance, and continue to play there. So proportionately, I'm playing the same thing. Wide, 3 shorts, 2 wides. And so that's how you move pattern 1. Again, it's this point that's the point of interest. So that's the key of C. What if you needed to play in the key of E flat? So E flat. Well, we know what E is here, but we can't go any lower than E flat unless we change the tuning of the guitar. So the other E we know is way up here. So this is an E, this is E flat. So then if that's an E flat, I would turn that into the horn, or the point that sticks out, and maintain that wide, 3 shorts, 2 wides. And now I'm playing in the key signature of E flat, or you can call it D sharp, whatever, same. So that is the key of E flat. So this works wherever you are. Now, keep in mind, it's entirely possible to not know any of the names here and just kind of intuitively figure out that, oh, if I play this pattern here and it matches the song, well, I'm in that key, whatever that is. If it sounds like everything's matching and fitting, then you're okay. Then you can look down at your guitar and go, oh, okay, I guess this is my key signature, which is A flat or G sharp, same thing. So it's entirely possible to be able to do this without understanding what you're doing. But I find that it's much easier if you kind of know how to navigate it. So hopefully you don't have any questions on what I just did there, changing keys. So whatever your key signature is, all you do is you move that pattern wherever you got to on the E string, find that note wherever it is on the E string, plant your ring or pinky finger down there, whatever, and just start playing your template. So in this instance, I'm playing over here, and this is my key signature. Well, that note is a D, so I just played in the key of D. So that's pattern 1. Now, if you get brave, how to play all the other patterns is keep in mind pattern 1 is always, no matter what key it's in, key signature it's in, it's going to be sandwiched in between pattern 5 and pattern 2. So here's pattern 1 in the key signature of D. Here's pattern 5 in the key signature of D. Right? 2 shorts, 2 wides, 2 shorts. And if I kept going, if this is pattern 5, pattern 4 has to be connected to it behind. Here's pattern 4. kind of run out of space to play pattern 3 because our neck kind of runs out of space. So that was pattern 4, pattern 5. Here's back at pattern 1, key of D. And if we went this way, pattern 1 leads into pattern 2. Here's pattern 2. 1 short, 2 wides. Kind of that circular shape going that way. And then a small rectangle at the end there. So that's pattern 2. Pattern 2 leads into pattern 3. 3 shorts, 2 wides with a zigzag, and then a short. And pattern 3 leads into pattern 4, so on and so forth. And everything I've been playing so far has all belonged to the key signature of D. So you can unravel all the other patterns once you kind of get your bearing with moving pattern 1. So it's kind of like a giant conveyor belt. And in fact, I made a little diagram that I just remembered about, and I kind of want to at least demonstrate what that looks like. So let's see. Just kind of made this conveyor belt here. And so I've been teaching you everything, if you've been taking lessons or following along online. I kind of cater to the key of G. But the idea is if you're playing in the key of G, the patterns kind of line up like this. And if you need to change the key, all that happens, it's like a conveyor belt, and it just moves down the neck of the guitar. So for example, see if I can do this. Probably would have been better if I wasn't holding a pick. There we go, dropped it. It's the first time I intentionally dropped a pick. So if you needed to change keys, you either slide everything down the neck. Is that a good count? Yeah, down the neck. And as you can see, everything is still proportionately together. You're just moving the whole belt down. Or vice versa, if you got to move it up the neck, then you just go the other direction. And hopefully you can see the glowing dot in red. Well, that glowing dot is the corner of pattern 1. And wherever that dot is your key. And it can be anywhere on the guitar. Okay? So that's kind of how this all works. I hope that helps any of you who are struggling with changing keys with the pentatonics. Sometimes I do, it is confusing, and so sometimes I do lose some students here. And that's why I decided to make this video. So hopefully you all found it useful. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And I guess there's this thing called a notification bell, whatever that means. Share with your friends. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll read it. And maybe one day I'll respond to it and make a video answering that question. But until then, take it easy, keep practicing, and I will see you next time. Aloha.